This is literary dictation at 180 words per minute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you think of a magazine as like a person, the design is the clothing and the body language all wrapped into one. It's like the body language because the magazine design sends a signal saying I am friendly and accessible or unfriendly and inaccessible. I am elegant or I'm dull. I am exciting, interesting, or not so. Design is like clothing because you have to account for fashion. Just as we change our clothes and our wardrobe periodically, magazines have to be redesigned. Even good clothes wear out. The standard in much of the magazine industry is redesigning every 3 or 4 years. Obviously, we don't have the resources to do that. What we do have to do is redesign periodically to maintain the interest of those people who are reading our magazine and hopefully to evoke interest in those people who are not reading our magazine. We need to make the magazine design more exciting, more inviting, more accessible, and put together a package that is more attractive to advertisers. As I said, fashions change, even trends in typefaces change, and magazines have to change to look fresh to their readers. Otherwise, the readers get tired of them, even if they like the content. One thing that you're going to see a lot of type and a lot of illustrations. This is a model of what the magazine is going to look like. It is not the first issue of the new design, which will be rolled out in January 2001. Some photographs and illustrations you may recognize because they are from past editions of the magazine. Others you may not recognize at all. They were from stock photographs held by our design team. Some of the headlines you may recognize. We took them from past magazines. With that introduction, let me begin. What you're going to see in general, I'll say at once because it will apply to a lot of pages you're going to see. A design we think is cleaner, more open, more accessible, and a design that will appear visually to a larger audience. This is a typical cover of the magazine. New logo using Helvetica type, sans serif type, which we haven't used in a long time on the front of the magazine, that style of type. Notice what's called a deck, the list of stories on top of the logo, and also more stories listed down on the side. We want to try to do two things at one time, which may be singly contradictory, have the color of the publication be as strong as it can be, and also give readers an idea of what the content inside is going to be. What we're going to strive for every month is to have as much information on the cover as possible, at the same time not detract from the photograph or illustration. You'll also notice familiar elements, the date, the website. Our website will be much more in evidence in the magazine. I'm not sure it's going to be on the cover every month, but it is on this prototype, and it will be more prominent in the magazine. This is what we call our celebrity cover. The idea of a celebrity cover is not just to put a celebrity on the cover for the sake of a celebrity. Obviously, it will be tied to a legitimate story in the magazine. We wouldn't put a picture of a celebrity on the cover unless we had an article inside. This proved to be extremely popular in the focus groups, so I include that in the mix for you. And this is what we think of as a situation cover. It could relate to an article or even a theme issue that is health-oriented, and this also was very popular in the focus groups. This is the table of contents. A lot of things different here. The first thing you'll notice is it's 2 pages instead of 1. It's a spread. We think it's easier to read, and the focus groups bore us out on that. It uses more photos than we ever used on contents before, including at least one large photo, which often may be tied to a cover story. Various sections, divisions of the magazine, features, columns, and departments are easily accessible, and we could do this either right hand or left hand. We'll probably alternate in different issues. This is an example of some of the magazine's regular departments. This is the letter from the president. This is an article that actually ran in the magazine after the last convention. Again, it's a more open design. We see a lot more white space around the headline. This is where you get a chance to see the new body type we're using. In general, it's a livelier page, and we're going to have tinted boxes along the sides of the margins. This is a typical treatment of a feature of the magazine. This is actually a story that ran in a recent theme issue. You'll notice here that again there's a lot more white space. Almost the top half of the page of the right-hand side is white surrounding the headline. The full page photo on the left, which we have done occasionally in the past, we're going to try to do it much more often now with this design. We think the whole spread is more inviting and we want the reader to try to get into it. Another thing, the type begins with a very large font for the first 5 lines, and then it tapers down to a smaller font. That's also designed to entice the reader to start the article, and hopefully with a few good leads, they'll be hooked. These are pages 3 and 4 of the same feature that you just saw. It is actually on the inside pages of the feature that we learn some of the more interesting lessons from the focus groups. You'll notice there's more variety on the page. We have a blurb in color which uses different type sizes to attract people. We have tinted boxes, we have photographs, just a lot more variety on the page.